MMA Inside the Cage, presented by Elevation Training Mask.
Welcome back to MMA Inside the Cage. It's second round time. We're chomping at the bit to talk about this new product from Mother Russia. It's called Hip Show, and it's a crossbreed of MMA, parkour, and maybe some American Gladiators fit in there, man. It's awesome. It's a reality-based 2-on-2 fight taking place on a battleground featuring a bus stop, a snake, a hole, a random hole called the GM hole, all these other obstacles. Casey, this is just the wildest thing I've ever seen. What's your reaction initially when you saw this video?
We were circulating this video in our gym a couple of weeks ago, and the first thing I thought was extreme violence, man. I mean, it's something that you're definitely not going to see here in America. It's over there in Russia. They're doing big things with it. I was real excited to see it, and it really encompasses the world tour that we have here in MMA Inside the Cage.
I think you're right. Well, here's the official rules here. It's 2-on-2 combat, 3 rounds. First 2 rounds, no submissions allowed. If one fighter gets KO'd or tapped out, it turns into a 2-on-1 handicap fight for 1 round, and that team has to either put that fighter away or they lose. So if this guy survives that 1 minute against 2 guys, then his team wins. There's also a point system involved that goes in effect if there's no resolution after 3 rounds. There are some interesting rules. You can do a kick. You can't do like soccer kicks. You can't do elbows on the ground. No triangle holds, actually. So there's some different rules that are involved there.
You can, however, run behind the guy and pop him in the back of the head.
Oh,
I watched that. Those guys were all over the place. One of the craziest scenes I've ever seen in any sort of combat sport.
I think it's a little off the wall, but I really love it. I love the nicknames, the arena. It might be a little extreme for the American MMA scene. What do you think?
Well, you're not going to see it sanctioned here in America at all, but you can see it here on MMA Inside the Cage.
You got to believe that. Now, to find out more about the Hip Show, head to their website. It's hip-show.ru. Enjoy the carnage. It's awesome, and hopefully we'll hear more from them very soon. Time to bring back the Gamma Labs Feature Fighter of the Week, and now we're going to head to Combat 8 in Australia. We're anxiously awaiting Combat 8-3 on April 27th in Sydney, and one of the fighters in the main event is the very talented, undefeated Thomas Tominhas Almeida.
Man, one of the most high-impact bantamweights in the world, flying under the radar, but getting ready to break through there at Combat 8, 10-0. He's a shoot box prodigy in his very early 20s, so we're going to see a whole lot out of him in the near future.
You got that right. And a lot of his wins are vicious, man. Big knockouts, 4 in a row. He's won on the big stage, Legacy FC in the United States, and then all throughout Brazil. You're going to see Thomas Almeida taking on Richie Voslik.
AKA Richie Voss.
Yes, in a battle of Brazil versus Australia. That's just one of the many blockbuster fights on Combat 8-3. Big city, bright lights, big fights. April 27th, streamed worldwide on epicenter.tv. After the break, a full preview of WFC 18 Knockout